guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick, and today we are talking about the PAX IKEA wardrobe. I've had it for about a year. There's some pros, there's some cons. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. So if you're new to my channel, we talk design and decor here every week. So whether or not you're maybe doing a renovation, or you're just looking at updating your home, or maybe you're just interested in design, feel free to subscribe. I would love to see your beautiful, wonderful face here every week when I post videos about design. So let's get to the PAX wardrobe review. So the first thing that I think you get, which is a major pro for the PAX system, is all the different IKEA organizers that they sell. So IKEA is great at this, right? Like they've got lots of different baskets and drawers and inserts and whatever that I think they just do such a great job. And you know that when you can buy it at IKEA, it's always going to be affordable. It's always going to be a reasonably good quality. It's going to be reasonably clean and stylish. And you know that it's going to fit in your PAX systems. And I want to give also a shout out to my two favorites. First is the pull-out sliding drawer, which I think is awesome for folding your laundry. I don't know about you, but sometimes when you take your clean laundry and you move it to your closet or move it to your bedroom, you kind of like miss sort of having a space to like do all your folding, a place to sort of rest things while you're putting them away, whatever. And I think that these drawers, they just slide right out and it's perfect. The other one that I really love is these two baskets that they sell. They slide in and out, which is great. And you can just sort of pile them in there. And then when it's laundry day, you just pick them up by the handles, you can take them over to the washer and you're good to go. Second pro with going with the IKEA PAX system is that it's really affordable. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because you guys know what I'm talking about. IKEA is very affordable. You're getting a reasonably good build quality at a really affordable price. Now, so I say reasonably good because I mean, look, the IKEA system, like most shelving systems you're gonna get, it's made of particle board or IKEA wood, as I used to always know it. I'm not gonna say that's the highest quality thing that you can get, but I think it's a reasonably good build quality for a closet organizer. I don't think you really need to go with anything more expensive or fancier than that. I haven't had any squeaky hinges. I haven't had any peeled veneer. It's got the soft closes, which I think is great, especially at this price point. It's kind of a nice touch that IKEA always does, is they put soft closes pretty much on everything. So overall, I would say it's a really good build quality. And that kind of leads me into my fourth pro, which is a really great warranty. So IKEA stands behind this product with a 10-year warranty for both the PAX system as well as all the different complement inserts that go inside of it. And I think it's really great that IKEA stands behind their product that much. You know IKEA is not going anywhere. They're not going to go out of business in a couple of years, so you know they're going to be around to stand behind this warranty. And 10 years I think is really solid for what you're going to get for this system. You know, it's not like a mug or some glassware. This is something you're going to be investing in. It's going to have a big presence in your house. It's something you're going to be using every single day. You want to know that it can stand up. And I think 10 years they're going to stand behind this product, I think is really, really great. Now let's get to the cons, and let's be honest, this is probably why you clicked anyway, because if you're like me, when you're looking at a review, you kind of want to know what the cons are because you kind of want to know what you're getting into to see if there's any red flags. And there are a few cons with the PAX system that I want to talk about. IKEA gives you a planning tool on their website. It looks like it's straight out of the 90s. It's really horrible to use, very cumbersome. And even sometimes when you would do the math on making sure that it would fit in your closet, you would go and piece it together with this software and it would read out and say, no, it doesn't work. And even though we knew it would fit, the software still wasn't really working with us to say that it would fit. We ended up actually going to IKEA, talking to the woman that worked there, and she said, oh, just make the room bigger, like just pretend that the room is like 10 by 10. And I was like, well, that's kind of not really a great solution for your really crappy, horrible software. So they know it sucks. And I know you might think I'm being a little bit finicky, like, Nick, who cares? Like once you get it in the door, it doesn't really matter once it arrives. And to me, it's a big con because you just think, you know, you don't want to waste any space in your closet, so you want to make sure that you're maximizing to get the best you can. So you want to plan it properly so you can maximize your storage. But at the same time, you also want to make sure that it fits because you don't want to take it home only to find that, you know, you're short by like an inch or two and you actually have to return a bunch of items or whatever, right? You don't want the headache of that. So the planner becomes really, really important. And it's so bad that it's to the point where it's almost unusable. The second thing I want to talk about is IKEA's service and delivery. Now, I personally always think that I don't know if service always necessarily belongs in a review. So your service might not be the same as my service. I sometimes think it's really difficult to sort of assess service in a review, but I will say I will defend it in this review, and here's why. The PAX is a very complicated system. There's a lot of different moving parts. You think like every different drawer panel, all the boxes, you know, the knobs, all the different individual pieces, the little cubbies and whatever, all that stuff is all wrapped up in that one big purchase. And IKEA's business model, which we all know is largely based around self-serve, where you go downstairs and you pick up all the stuff yourself, doesn't necessarily really work all that well with how complicated the PAX is. So IKEA works great for if you're gonna go buy like a plant or a mug or some cutlery or whatever, because you can just go, you can pick it up yourself, you take it home and it's fine. But the PAX is so big and so complicated, the service doesn't really help you sort of navigate how complex the PAX is and the business model of how IKEA works. So I hope that's kind of making sense to you guys. I think if you're going with something like a California Closets, where this is like all they do, I'm going to guess that you probably have an easier time getting all the pieces that you need all at once so that it becomes relatively simple and easy to do. So another con, you guys, is the color options and sort of the hardware options that you get. So one thing that's good to be aware of is that if you are getting a certain color of IKEA door, just know that it's possible that the actual cabinets themselves don't actually match the door front. I don't know why IKEA does this. To me, I guess it's so that they can offer more options on the door front and then just sort of leave the sort of cabinets themselves as just having sort of a couple of different colors. If you're going for all white, if you're going for all white door fronts and all white in the cabinets, this is probably not a con for you. So for me, I wanted the black door fronts. There is no actual black storage cabinet option, so we ended up having to use the black brown, which isn't really a perfect match. That's not maybe something that mattered to me in my closet. Because it was a walk-in, you can't really tell that the backs don't really match the fronts. But if you were looking at, say, getting those black front doors that are on maybe to put in your bedroom, it's gonna be a lot more visible. You're really gonna see the contrast and it might not necessarily work for you. Also, the black door fronts that I had the larger option for the doors, but they didn't have the smaller option. So we needed the smaller option to actually fit in our closet. So we ended up having to put a mirrored door on the front of that one. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It's kind of helpful to have a mirrored door in your walk-in closet, but it's just something to consider that when IKEA makes a door front, they don't make it for every size cabinet and they don't necessarily have a matching color in the actual cabinets themselves. Another con to consider is how complicated it is to put together. I didn't put it together. Ours was quite complex because it had 2 different corner units. So for us, what we decided was just to hire somebody to come and put it together for us. I know a lot of people seem to do that for the PAX. And to be honest, I would recommend it. I saw how complicated it was. There was just so many different pieces that were coming through. IKEA is already annoying enough to put together when it's a table, you guys. I couldn't imagine doing all of the cabinets where everything has to fit perfectly together and you've got these, you're literally talking centimeters of space in order to be able to make sure that it fit. So I'm happy that I paid for someone to put it together, but that is an added cost that you will probably have to pay. And then another con for you guys is that I think the corner units are a bit finicky. Now, I'm not a designer of closet organizing systems, but I will say that the corner units seem a bit finicky for me. The way that it works is that one of the corner units basically has to nest inside of another corner unit. So by doing that, you are losing some inches in the back corner. So a different shelving system would maybe be able to help you maximize those corners, but at IKEA, you do lose some of that. And the other thing, which is a little bit strange, is that in that corner unit, you basically need to open one of the doors to be able to open another one. So because my walk-in closet isn't a huge walk-in closet, it is quite small, you basically kind of have to step outside of the closet in order to be able to open one of the doors to have access to opening the other door. This is a little bit finicky. I don't know if you can necessarily make this better, but for me, if I were to do it all over again, if you're using a corner unit, I would say it's maybe worth looking at a different system. Even if you stick with the PAX, you might want to just try your best to avoid corners entirely, because even if you go and you talk to the people at IKEA, they will tell you that you do lose a lot of space in the corners, and the corners are the most complicated part of the PAX system. So just keep that in mind when you're designing your PAX. So now let's talk about would I recommend the PAX wardrobe. So there is some situations where I would recommend it. I think if you're looking at doing a unit in your bedroom and you just want a plain freestanding sort of wardrobe unit, I think the PAX is awesome. Notice this is how when you actually walk into an IKEA, this tends to be the system that they show off the most. So this is when you just have a wardrobe that's in the corner of your room, and I think it really, really works well for that. The only thing to keep in mind, again, is that color choice. The front and the backs is gonna be super noticeable in a bedroom, so you wanna make sure that you're getting front and backs that match perfectly, or that you're just like really kind of do your homework to make sure that you pick fronts that are gonna work together with the back as well as the rest of the decor in your room. If you're doing a walk-in closet, is it worth it to go with the PAX? I think if it's a larger walk-in closet, I think the PAX can work really well. I think you have the luxury of space so that you maybe don't have to do corners, you maybe don't lose as much space in the corner, and if you do, it's not a big deal. And for that, I would recommend the PAX, but I think if you're like me and you have a smaller walk-in closet, I'm not entirely sure that I would. I think I maybe would have done open shelving if I were to do it over again, or maybe even gone with an entirely different system. So I do love the PAX, I do love IKEA, I do think that it's a really great system, but there are enough cons there, like losing space in the corners, how awful it is to put together, how awful it is to plan. I maybe would have considered another system because I do think the PAX is cumbersome enough that I would think twice about using it again. So that's my official review of the PAX system. Good system, but not without its flaws. Let me know what you think. If you have a PAX system, I want to hear what you have to say. Feel free to comment below and let me know. And if you want more design related content, of course, I would love to see your wonderful face here every week when I post a new video. So feel free to subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Thanks, bye.